must be here about the notice. How do I know? Simple. No one but potential applicants will even speak to me. Must be because I reek of desperation, of one sending young souls off to certain doom. Well, once you hear the details, I'm sure you will lose interest. Everyone else does. We of the Alpha Merchant Navy wish to hire a representative to track and kill the notorious pirate Dead Kell and his crew of murderous hanged men. They had many names for him during the Middle Kingdoms era. Ghost of the Frostbreak, the Blood-Red Sail. Every captain and swab on the Frostbreak Sea feared for their lives when Kell raised his flag. Many widows were made in those days, my friend. Of course, that was centuries ago, before he was killed. Our shipping and transport lanes are a gauntlet. Dead Kell preys on our ships like scabs feast on the dying. We're helpless against him. We're losing 1 in 5 vessels departing from Earthia. Good sailors gone, vital supplies sent to the depths. This must end now. Oh yes, the Alpha Navy put an end to Dead Kell generations ago. They tracked him to his island hideaway and turned his ship to tinder. There were no survivors. Now you understand our predicament. You will, truly. I must admit I did not anticipate this development. Here is your payment. It is made in good faith. Once you've made your preparations, report to Captain Rast Bratigan in the Keys. She will be your escort. Rast is a good and loyal companion and a competent sailor, despite what they say. May Lyria protect you, and may her breath ever be at your back. Good luck. It is the hideaway of Dead Kell and his crew. The legends speak of it as a damned isle, a horrible scar on the face of the world. To be quite honest, no one is sure of its true location. For the best, I say. Trust Rast.
Yeah? Don't bother me. I'm waiting for a passenger, some suicidal idiot. Can't be caught chatting. I want to make a good impression. Well, tie me up and drag me under. So you're the one the Navy's hooked into finding Gallows End and killing Dead Kell. It's suicide! Really? Ask the others. Oh wait, you can't. But don't worry about them. Like my mother said, don't weep for the fallen. Even if they could hear you, they wouldn't care. You know, the other applicants. Dead, all of them. All of the ones they found, that is. Plenty of others just vanished. One poor fellow was found cut into teeny tiny pieces. They needed a bucket to pull all of him from the surf. But don't you worry, we'll have a fine voyage. He's the worst of the worst. A villain who truly enjoys the pain he inflicts. He's a slippery one, though. Not even death can catch Dead Kell. I'd love to be the one to bring him in. Maybe then I'd finally get some respect. It is the mysterious island fortress of Dead Kell and his crew. Why? Do you know how to get there? Because I have no idea. I was hoping to figure it out as we go, but I'm starting to wonder if that's a good idea. Flattery will get you nowhere, unless I've had too much to drink. Then I'm afraid to say it'll get you all sorts of strange places. I shall not elaborate. Tari and I are ready when you are. Seeing as I don't believe in navigation, I'd have to say no. Not at the moment. Not to worry. Once you've wrecked enough ships, you get the hang of it. He's the fine first mate on the ground next to me. Words aren't his strength, although I'd be pressed to say what is exactly. I found him after I was forced to maroon my last first mate on a desert island. That man became obsessed with me, Probably because we had sex. A lot. If you're ready to depart, my vessel awaits. You'll find her both swift and seaworthy. Just don't go down into the hold. There's a leak down there. It's big. I'm predicting an uneventful voyage. We might even get bored. Off we go then. Trust no one. Except me, of course.
Well, Captain?
Lo, hear the tale of the Pirate King, who cut a blood-red wake from dark Rathir to frustrate sea, and Dead Kell was his name. With hangmen crew and bow-white flag, he sailed from Gallows End. No solace for a sailor true when Dead Kell's ship came in.
Yeah? Wow! I did not foresee such a horrendous disaster. Too bad. Are you well? Everything in its right place? Most of the others were killed. It wasn't quick. I heard their cries in the fog, but I couldn't do a thing. Dead Kell. One moment there was nothing but open sea before us, and the next there he was. It didn't take much to sink the Calamity. That poor ship was asking for mercy, and Dead Kell granted her wish. Welcome to Gallows End, my friend. At least I think that's where we ended up. I hope you like surprises. No one is sorrier than I am. Those men and women were my family. Travelling as I do, there aren't many opportunities for closeness. I found that on the Calamity. Found it and lost it. Good thing Tari is still with me. Well, mostly. I'm not sure exactly, but he's bleeding like a gutted fish. We're going to need to reach shore if we want to fetch help. We'll have to come back for him. I wish there was another way. Gone, Lyria, bless her. Like Mother always said, never love anything, because all things end up dead. A wise woman, my mother. And very, very sad. The hull drifted off into an eastern cove, where it sank away completely. Only bubbles remain. And a more capable team I can't imagine. It appears our best path to the mainland is through a nearby cavern, but it seems to be flooded and blocked by debris. I do carry some old cobalt explosives in my pack, but I've never used one before. Well, not successfully. Are we there yet? to see whether or not these explosives are worth the price I paid for them. Get back! Chin up. I'm going to explode this next wall. Keep your distance. Wet. Yuck. Ugh. Wet. Yuck. Jabbering jellyfish! I'm out of explosives! And we're so close, I can hear the waves on the sand. One of us is going to need to find some way to get us through this wall. And by someone, I mean you. You see, I don't swim. Or did I fail to mention that? Are we there yet? Here we go. Smell that? Fresh air. We're close. It's time to get out of there. Now that's teamwork. Amazing! We survived! I didn't want to say anything in the cavern, but I was betting against us. In the words of my dear departed mother, always prepare for the worst, for it'll probably happen. There looks to be a settlement on the beach. Come, let's see who's at home. All right then.
Akara blesses us with another lost soul. Welcome, stranger. I am Alder Malloy, and you've arrived at Cape Solace just in time. Tell me, how have you come to find yourself upon our shore? Ah, so you're here for the oppressor, he who was cast down. You're not the first to arrive on these shores in search of him. You will not be the last. But Akara's magic protects us here in Cape Solace. We are safe from Dead Kel's deathless touch. The same cannot be said for those who venture past the boundaries of the village, near the keep and the surrounding forest. Dead Kel was the favorite son of Akara. He was given great gifts from our protector, only to squander them in the pursuit of power. We are blessed not to fear him. So many others live at his mercy, but not those of us here on the safety of the beaches. Akara protects the faithful. The villain Dead Kel rules much of this island, and he strives tirelessly to control every last inch. Akara will not let this happen. We are protected in this spot alone, just south of the river and along the coast. The Fallen One has no power here, and it enrages him. Why, it is the great fortress that looms in the north. Grave Hall, as it was named by the Diverga craftsmen who raised its mighty walls. But the Diverga have long since abandoned the island, leaving their great keep empty. Some in the village, like Paddy, are intrigued by the keep's dark courts and corridors. But I would avoid it. Grave Hall is haunted. Then you will fit in well. For keeping the village strong is truly a group undertaking. We get by with Akara's blessing and providence, of course. You may stay with us for as long as you wish, but might I suggest that you find a way to make yourself useful? We all must do our part. He is this island and everything on it. His power and wisdom give us direction, help us to chart a course through the thundering storm of this mortal life. Akara has been a part of Gallows End since before the first castaway dragged his boat ashore and kissed the damp sand beneath his feet. We here in Cape Solace worship Akara because it is he who provides safety, sustenance, and sense of purpose. He and his hanged men are not welcome near our village. Akara has made it so. The fallen sun stalks the forest and coasts of Gallows End, but he is a prisoner here as much as anyone. One day, Akara will rid us of him once and for all. All who find themselves on these white sand beaches have been drawn by Akara. Here you will discover many mysteries, but none more important than what to do with this opportunity. Who will you be when you leave Gallows End? The same person who came? Or someone else entirely? Magical deviants like their master, the hanged men terrorize any who brave the wilderness. Bloodgrin stalks the docks of Kel's Harbor to the west, while the Baronet rules the mountains in the north, haunting its peaks and twisted islands. Worst of them all is the Whispering Witch. We never know where she will strike next. He's a funny one, plagued by delusions and inspiration. I've known Akara to touch people, but Paddy acts more touched in the head than blessed. Ever since he arrived, Paddy has had a covetous eye on Grave Hall Keep. I don't know what it is about that old ruin that so bewitches him.
Look what the reef brought ashore this time. I am Padrig Dower. My friends call me Paddy, but I have few of those here in the village. I assume dear Alder's given you the welcome speech? Poor, foolish man. It's getting crowded down here, you know. Pity we can't move, some of us at least, up to the keep on the hill. Thing of beauty, isn't it? Nothing like the great city of Odessa, of course, but just as breathtaking. Please excuse my enthusiasm. I was an architect back in the world. If you want a nicer place to live, and you aren't afraid of spirits, I can help you get that keep. Interested? It's not haunted. Cursed, maybe, but not haunted. Gates locked and it's crawling with those damn scavs. And something else inside that's loud as hell. Every so often, someone gets an idea to sneak in. Most don't get as far as the door, and those who do never come back. I've gotten as far as the top of the wall to have a peek inside. It wasn't easy, but I had a good enough look to know I'd better climb right back down and think of something else. Everything else, I know from the dream. Last night, I dreamt of the keep as it once was, several stories tall and so beautiful, it made me cry. When I awoke, I was clutching this key in my hand. I don't put much stock in a Kara, but I do know a sign when I see one. There was more, but I can't recall it clearly. Perhaps it'll come back to me when we get inside. Will you come? Yes, I'm going with you. I'm not much good in a fight, but I can remember enough of what I saw in the dream to know where to go. So, you want to help me or not? Fantastic! Let me know when you're ready to go, and we'll be off. Come on, then. I'll lead the way, but stay close. Alder's guard doesn't protect us outside Cape Solace. Goodbye. Stay close to me. See? What did I tell you? Magnificent. Bit worse for wear after a couple centuries, but nothing I couldn't fix. Let's see if this key still works. Goodbye. This keep is not haunted. It is overrun. Monsters, not phantoms, inhabit its dark hallways. We should move along. The dream is still mostly mist and darkness, but bits and pieces return to me when I concentrate. Though I don't remember all the details, I believe the memory is guiding my discoveries and inspirations. Goodbye. Go on. You've beaten back the beasts. You've braved the shadows. You've earned the right to claim the seat. Sit upon the throne. You are the rightful ruler of Grave Hall now. Bye. This is remarkable. You've done it. For years, the villagers of Cape Solace have been too craven to enter this great hall. And here you are, freshly washed ashore, and you march right in and take it. Haunted? Never. Just a few small beasts. Nothing you couldn't handle. Guess the keep had one more surprise left for us. But now, the keep is yours. You're the first master of the keep in nearly 500 years, if you're willing to believe all the legends. Let me be the first to offer you my services, my liege. My liege, I am glad you asked. I've been ruminating over this beautiful structure, devising plans for its improvement. I'll start by restoring the keep inside and out, but I also feel the need for a beast pen in the courtyard. I could easily add that at the same time. I just need you to get me 2 bundles of beechstone, 3 bundles of emberwood, and 3 bundles of sailcloth. Yes, it will allow us to take full advantage of the island's diverse variety of beasts. Of course, we'll soon need to find a suitable beast master to run it. I think I might know just the man, but we'll get to that later. The centuries have been surprisingly kind to this place. The forest should have reclaimed it ages ago. Worst part is all the scav droppings, but that's just dirty work. I believe much of the rubble is what remains of the side buildings and upper floors I saw in my dream, but I'm not certain yet. You should be able to find enough to salvage at Scuttle Beach. I've marked a few locations for you to search on your map. I'll get to work as soon as you're back. Bye.
I don't know about you, but all of this talk about Akara is unsettling. I'm going to ask around about ways to get off the island, since I'm almost certain we're not going to want to stay. We'll have to secure another vessel, but from the looks of the village, they don't often venture past the reef. In the meantime, I'll ask you to scour the beaches for survivors of our wreck. I fear that we may be all that's left of the calamity. Such a possibility has left me agitated. I try not to worry. Anxiety doesn't agree with me. I throw up. I did not see my bosun Thora among the dead, or his wife Asa. There's a chance they have evaded death's grip and still count among the living. Mark my words, if even one of them survives, I will fight to the Earth's edge to find them. That's the spirit! I knew taking you on board was the right idea. That fortune teller didn't know what she was talking about. I will stay here and speak to Alder about a boat, and I'll have them send men to fetch Tari from the sandbar. I'll have Dead Kel's head if it's the last thing I do. Keep your boots dry.
You look tired.
You must be one of the new arrivals. Tell me, did Cape Solace drive you out as well? I am Nesta Gwynedd. My husband Cadwallon and I have only been here a short time, but we've managed to eke out a tolerable existence on our own. We did, for the scav infestation. Several months ago, my husband and I started a garden on Storm Point. It has saved our lives. Thanks to this secret spot, we've been able to fill the village stores to brimming. Now, however, scavs seem to have taken a keen interest in Storm Point as well. They wish not to fill their stores, but their bellies instead. If your goal is to ingratiate yourself to the inhabitants of this island, you've chosen the right path. You have my thanks, and the thanks of those who wish to eat. Come, we will take you to Storm Point. It's not far, just past the boundaries of Cape Solace and Gravehall Keep. Follow me. Quiet now. It's not far. We mustn't go any farther. The scavs will know we're coming. Oh, those little monsters can hear the hair stand up on the back of your neck. We don't need to fear the Pirate King. His realm is to the west, deep in the caverns of the coast. They say he's been killed before, but that the flames of the afterlife buoyed his rise back to Earth. Oh, it's enough to give one shivers. Those scavs have overrun the most fertile ground on the whole island. If they nest there, we'll be eating oysters and eel until we grow gills. I hate scavs.
Well done.
Thank you. Our stores were running low, and it's not as easy as you'd think to gather food in these treacherous lands. There are others in the village that could use your help. In fact, I was planning to ask someone to venture down to Scuttle Beach. I saw a ship before the scavs moved in. I'm convinced it ran aground on the rocks below, but I can't be sure. Someone should check for survivors. I have encountered many fanatics in my time, and none are so zealous as Amalur. In the few months that we've been here, he's tried to convert me twice. Never trust a man who lets his faith speak for him. Wouldn't I love to move our camp up behind those tall, strong walls? But that's not possible. Gravehall is cursed. Nothing good has ever come to those who enter its vast shadow. In fact, none of them have ever returned. I am forever grateful.
So, I'm not the only one who walked out of that mess. I figured you for a sturdy one, but surviving that wreck, that's fate. We shouldn't waste a moment. My wife, my Asa, she still lives, but they took her. I've never seen anything like it. Scavengers. They look like fair Gorta, but not like any I've ever seen. No, it was just us. Asmir, Kelly, Free, Edric, Udin. They're all gone. All dead. They were good people. Proud. Not the bedraggled bunch many mistook them for. It's a shame. Thank you. I won't forget this, truly. I will make way inland. If there are others on this island, I will find them, and I will send them. My heart goes with you. Get her back! Oh.
Ah, at last! I thought the crabs would pick my bones clean. You must set me free. Those louts can't have gotten far, if they're still alive, that is. They'll pay for their crimes, I promise you. The rogues on our prison galley cracked me upside the skull and dragged me in here. Now I know why they were in such foul moods all the time. Be a friend and free me. The lock requires a key, but it should be somewhere nearby. In the wreckage, I'd wager. I'm a mercenary by trade, once of the war sworn, and I sought my fortunes in Odessa, on a prison ship. The revolt occurred not long after we left the city, as we sailed north through the Forian Strait. The prisoners broke free of their shackles, stormed the decks. It didn't take long for those dogs to realize that trained men are needed to sail a prison galley. We struck the rocks, and all hands went down. All but one. Then you have my thanks. As one honourable soul to another. The key was last seen on the bosun's belt, but he's nothing but bones now. I'd follow the crabs. Little buggers appear to have quite the hunger for rotting flesh. Sure, I've heard the stories. Who hasn't? My mum used to tell me that Dead Kell would sell me into slavery if I didn't leave my mucky boots at the door. Ah, whole lot of nonsense. Don't loosen my tongue when they talk of gods. I can kill a man as quickly as any god. Save your prayers, my friend. Carry on. The Troika be praised. Surely they watch over me and bless me with friends such as you. Many thanks. Now that you've given me back my freedom, I will make the most of it. I swear I saw a village to the west. If that be true, then its people might possess food. Or more importantly, drink. I'll do my best to win their trust. If I fail, there are always other ways to get what I need. I've seen statues with more life in them than this lot. Pray and fish, fish and pray. Someone slay me, please. Carry on.
You're not a sailor, are you? Sailors pitch when they walk dry ground, list like drunkards at a wake. No, you're not one of them. So who are you? My name is Nina Malloy. You met my father Alder back in the village. He wouldn't be pleased to find me here. Of course, very little pleases my father. I've walked this island since I was no bigger than a boggart, but I'm still prohibited from venturing past the village on my own. I can take care of myself. Ha! What did you know? I killed my first scav in this very fasting. I don't need protection. Not yours. Not my father's. Not Akara's. Keep telling our people that the offering only makes us slaves. Makes us weak. But do they listen? No. You've been trained not to. It takes place once in a generation. A member of the village is chosen, and then she's offered to the god Akara as a sacrifice. During the offering ceremony, Akara imbues the chosen one with his magic and transforms her into his arbiter, his mouthpiece in the village. We follow her guidance, whether we wish to or not. Yes, so I gathered. The scabs aren't partial to intruders, especially ones they can eat. I'll join you if you don't mind. I'll know these tunnels better than anyone. Lead on. I'll watch your back. He's a tyrant, nothing more. We're captives here so long as Akara guides us. All my life I've heard of his benevolence, his protection. What's he protecting me from? I'll tell you. Freedom. A whole world awaits us beyond these shores. A world I'll never discover. Many years ago, this island belonged to the Dread Pirate. It was his lair, a place where the justice of the Alpha held no sway. But time passed, as it always does. His influence here has waned. I wouldn't let it keep you from slumber. It is a spectacle, nothing more. Akara only uses it to keep the villagers tethered to his will. The offering fast approaches. I'd rather not discuss it anymore. Don't waste me. This place is a mess. These old Dverga fastings don't hold up well. Right, carry on.
You've come! They came as soon as the hull went under. The cargo, the survivors, the sails. Everything stripped like flesh from a bone. I didn't think I'd live to see the morning. Not with dead Kel here. I'm going to see if there's anyone else on this island. There are too many structures for it to be deserted. I never believed in him. Not until his minions blasted a gaping hole in our hull that sent us straight to the bottom. He'll get his. You just wait. Don't be foolish.
And what is this? Tell me, stranger, what brings you down these dank passages? Salvage? Riches? The allure of a most magnificent death? If you must die, it should be at the hands of a monster like me. My victims are almost as infamous as I am. I have touched the hand of death and been chosen. So it is with all great men. We transcend mortality. But you wouldn't know of such things, would you? Death will not have me. Not until I am satisfied. And I am not satisfied. Oh no, I still hunger. Oh, others have tried. Many of them. Hundreds. I drape my ship in their failure. Why do you think I left the gallows on the beach? You've been warned. All of you. Besides, you will find it difficult to kill that which is already dead. But I look forward to seeing you try. Until then, enjoy my island.
Listen to dead Kel, stranger. Find a ship, find a captain, then sail far, far away from Gallows End. I'll see that your friend gets to the village. After that, I'm going to do some exploring. There was another crash not soon after yours. A ship that ran aground up north. I was planning to follow the survivors inland, but there also might be something of value in their wreckage. I wouldn't call him a close relation, but I've seen him from time to time. He doesn't show his ghastly face around Cape Solace that often. I guess even he's got an interest in good salvage. I can't be sure of what happened until I see for myself. But it was a large ship, a merchant galley, or perhaps even an old naval vessel. It was big, though, and it rode low in the water, loaded down with cargo, or with men, or with both. That's a good idea. Won't want to miss anything that could be of use back at the village, so I'm gonna be stuck there for the rest of my life. Thanks. Maybe you're not as thick as I first thought. I'll see you back at Cape Solace. Bye.